Hi, this is going to be a short tutorial on how to create content pages in your ePortfolio. When you enter the ePortfolio system, you are first presented your dashboard. To create pages for your courses or to share with others, you will need to select the Portfolio tab at the top of your window. When you enter the portfolio area, you can see that a list of any pages you have are listed. The first time you enter, you will most likely only see your dashboard page and your profile page. But as you can see, I have already created a few pages. To create a page, you will be selecting the button at the top right that says Create Page. Now, depending on your role in the system, such as a student or facilitator, you will have access to different templates. For this example, you see I am presented with a template that has been previously created. So the first thing I am going to do is change the title of the page. I'm going to call this page Learn About TLET. In the description area, I am going to put a short statement so that someone who sees the page listed will know what it's about. Then I'm going to enter some tags so that if someone is searching for pages, they can put in search terms and my page will pop up as one of their options. With that done, I now save the page and am brought to the editing area for that page. I refer to this as the editing canvas. Now you can see that this template already has a number of blocks that I can use. You can also see that it has 3 columns in its display. For this page, I'm not really interested in having any of these content blocks, so I can easily delete them and start from scratch. So now that it is blank, I don't want to have 3 columns. In fact, I want a different layout altogether where I can embed a PDF flyer and then add some additional messaging. So to do that, I am going to select the Edit Layout button at the top right. In this area, you will see that there are a number of layouts available to me as standard layouts. I have pages that have vertical columns, I have pages that are split into 2 rows, and some that have 3 rows. If I click Advanced Options, I am given even more choices. So as you can see, if I want 1 row, I can divide it up to as many as 5 columns. With 2 rows, I have several options of how I want information displayed, as well as if I want 3-row display. This is a lot like deciding how a web page will look, which is actually what you are doing. Now, for the really adventurous, you can actually come up with a custom design by clicking on Create Custom Layout. As you can see, you have the ability to select the layout row by row, changing the format of every row. Now, a tip on design here. Remember, the layout needs to let you display your content in a visually appealing way. So while you can experiment all you want, when you finalize the page, you want to make sure that the people viewing it can easily read the information you want them to see. So going back to this demonstration, we are going to use the standard layout, which has 2 rows. In the first row, I want to display the flyer, so I don't want any columns. And in the second row, I want to put some text and some contact information, so I will select one that has 2 columns in the second row. Now remember, if you find that you have not adequately planned for your content, you can always select a new design. But if you have content already loaded, you may have some issues. So putting together even a pencil sketch of what you are creating might save you some headaches down the road. So now that I save my layout selection, I am ready to add content. So I select the Edit Content button and I'm brought back to the editing canvas. As I said, the first item I want to add is the flyer itself. So I have this flyer saved as a PDF. So I'm going to select PDF and I will get a pop-up that helps me decide where I want to put this content. On the left side of this pop-up, you will see a miniature display of your layout, and you select the block where you are adding the content. As you can see, it is showing a darker gray, so I know where I am working. Now I am asked where in the block I want to put this piece of content. Since I have no other content in the block, the only option I have is to use top of cell. So I select top of cell and then add, and a pop-up displays to ask me what I want to call the block, and then it allows me to select my file and upload it. You can always check to see if the file is successful by clicking on the file link here, and as you can see, the file is in my content. The last thing you select about a block is whether it is retractable or not. Making an item retractable means that when someone clicks on it, it can either be hidden or opened. Sometimes in a page that has a lot of content, it is helpful for the reader to be able to open different sections to keep them from having to scroll down the page to find what they are interested in. For the purposes of the flyer, though, I want to make sure they see it, so I'm selecting No and then saving the content. In doing this, you can see that I am taken back to the editing canvas, and now I have the flyer embedded in the page. The next thing I want to do is to add some text content. So I select the text option, and I get the pop-up that asks me where I want the content placed. Now, if I wanted the text to display as a title below or above the flyer, you can see that I now have the option of putting the text above the flyer or below it. However, I want to add the content in one of the two blocks below the flyer. So I'm going to select a different block in the layout at the top, and now it gives me the top of cell because there is no other content there. When I select Add, I am now taken to the data entry screen where I name the block and then add the content. For this demonstration then, I'm going to select the content to be automatically retracted. By saving this, we can now see that the content has been added, but it does not scroll across the whole page because I selected a two-column option for this row. So lastly, I want to add some contact information. I can pull this information from my personal information if I am the one the reader should contact. So again, I select which cell and select where I want to add the profile information. In this selection page, again, I can name the block, but I have options of what information from my profile I want displayed. So here I will select my name and my Skype address. Scrolling down, I can decide if I want my profile picture displayed and my email included. If I want to put in some comments before the information, I add it to this text box and then select it to be retractable or not and save. Again, I'm brought back to the editing canvas. I need to look this over to make sure what I want on the page is there, and if it looks okay, then I do a last look at the page the way my readers will see it by selecting Display Page. On this page then, I can see how the page will look to other people. I then scroll down and can decide if I want it to be a public page or not. If a page is meant to be shared with a select group of people, click on the toggle to say no, so at a later time you can select specifically who you want to see it. You also have the option at this point to enter a comment and attach files if you wish, but essentially your page is complete. This concludes the tutorial on creating content pages. We will cover sharing content in another video. Thank you for listening. Now go out there and create some awesome content.